Hello, my name is Austin Trenkamp. I am a student at California State University, Sacramento, and here I am at the start of the trail of the northern Sentinal grove of giant sequoias just outside of Forest Hill, California. The trail is a 1-mile loop, and along the loop I would like to discuss some of the famous celebrity cousins to the giant sequoias, all found here in California, those being the coast redwood and the bristlecone pine. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I am here at the first stop along the 1-mile loop where you can easily see some giant sequoias. They are very distinguishable by their very red colored bark. You know, human families, we have differences and we can grow apart, but the differences amongst the celebrity family of California trees is so much far-reaching compared to the differences amongst human families. It doesn't matter what side of the earth you're from. Humans have only been on earth for about 300,000 years. Fossil records of these trees date back to as far as 200 million years. So their differences in height, age, adaptations to their environment are far-reaching and much different than the variations amongst humans, which are pretty much genetically exactly the same. So let's discuss some of those differences and keep hiking. Okay, here we are at the third stop along the 1-mile loop trail of the Northern Sentinels. I am standing in front of the fallen Roosevelt tree, which was a true giant, probably reached much older ages than the 4 sequoias I was standing next to before. And talking about the differences of these celebrity trees, and I refer to these trees as celebrities because the coast redwood, tallest living organism on earth, stands at 380 feet tall. These giant sequoias behind me can reach heights close. General Sherman farther south is 275 feet tall. But the bristlecone pines grow to only about 30 to 60 feet tall, and that's because, once again, huge differences. They're the oldest living tree on Earth, and their environment is incredibly harsh, very windy, very dry, with poor soil. So growing to tall heights would not be beneficial to them. They would topple over easily, and due to the poor soil conditions, they grow very slowly, which also prevents them from reaching tall heights. You know, we all have differences in our families. You might think you have an uncle who has a big drinking problem, but I bet his drinking problem isn't quite as bad as the tree behind me. Giant sequoias need to drink about anywhere between 500 to 800 gallons of water per day. That would be a water tank that's about this tall on me and about 48 inches wide. So a little bit wider than me. And that is a massive amount of water. Bristlecone pines, on the other hand, they only need 0.8 cups of water every 9 days. So the difference between these celebrities is huge. The variation between me and my family members doesn't come anywhere near that. So let's keep hiking. We're going to go to the next beautiful standing sequoia, talk about a few more differences, and wrap up the hike. Okay, here we are at the last stop before getting back to the parking lot on this 1-mile hike through the Northern Sentinel Grove, and I'm next to the perishing tree. It's probably the largest, most impressive giant sequoia here in the Northern Sentinel Grove. And some of the adaptations and differences are clearly visible here. See, these trees, they've had to adapt to fire because it's part of their ecosystem. Euro-Americans have put a sad, regretful end to that mistakenly, but we're learning from our mistakes, hopefully doing better in the future. But this tree's known about it for a long time, and its bark is incredibly thick, very porous, very fire resistant, similar to its genetic cousin, the coast redwood, which are both part of the cypress family. They have adapted to fire. It is a part of their ecosystem, where the ancient bristlecone pine, on the other hand, it's adapted to fire by growing in elevations from 10,000 to 11,000 feet, where fire doesn't really exist. There's no brush to catch and spread. There's no insects at that elevation, so their bark doesn't need to protect them from that. So differences in these trees is just incredible. Age differences. So when this tree first started growing, probably about 1000 BC, civilizations in Vietnam had just discovered how to harvest rice or cultivate rice. That puts things in perspective. Jesus would not be born for another 1,000 years when this tree potentially started growing. He's a pretty prominent figure in our history. And when the ancient bristlecone pines first started growing, the ones that are alive today, humans had first been documented using tools for the first time in the Bering Strait, wherever that is, and the Arctic. And now I am recording myself on a computer that fits in my pocket that has infinite wisdom. So think about that. These trees probably have a lot more knowledge than we do in our families. Maybe we should visit our family and listen to them a little more. All right, we're almost done, sadly, so back to the parking lot. Okay, we are just about at the end of the trail, but I wanted to stop here really quick and show you the crazy little micro environment that's going on here. I got a little running stream behind me and snow. I don't know if you can see that. Definitely scattered snow still, even though it hasn't snowed for a while, and it's pretty darn warm in California, or in the Sacramento Valley, I should say. You would not expect there to be too much snow in a 30-minute drive, but it's a potential reason of why this grove is here. It's puzzled scientists ever since they were first discovered, and the only theory that seems to make sense from what I've read online is it's just a little bowl, a little depression that we're in here instead of vertical slopes in the surrounding area. But how the seeds got here, I still have not been able to find out online, and I don't think anybody really knows. Birds, deer, through their scat potentially, nobody really knows. But I wanted to also review really quick why I keep referring to these trees as the celebrity California family. The coast redwoods take reign of the tallest living organism on Earth. These giant sequoias, they take the title for General Sherman down south in the southern groves. Takes reign for the largest living organism by volume on Earth. And the bristlecone pine takes reign of the oldest living organism on Earth, over 4,000 years old. So these are California celebrities, one of the cousins being once removed or perhaps adopted, but I still like to think of them as the famous California family. And like all of us, well, at least myself, none of us tend to visit our family members enough, and I hope this video inspired you to come out, enjoy all the awesome things California has to offer, this amazing grove of giant sequoias outside of Forest Hill. No crowding issues here, as you can see. I make sure to bring my can of bear mace. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and hope to see you out here soon. Thank you.